Hi everybody, welcome back to Frontier Gaming. We've got another episode coming up and we're taking a look at some new expansions that are coming out for Star Wars Legion. We've got two new packs that have been announced from Fantasy Flight Games for the support slot in Star Wars Legion. The first one being the E-Web Heavy Blaster Team, as well as the 1.4 FD Laser Cannon team. The 1.4 FD Laser Cannon team comes in at 70 points base and has an upgrade slot for Comm and Generator. Generator is a new upgrade type that we're going to see that are shared between these two teams. The Laser Cannon team has a full pivot rule, so it can spin up to 360, which is really important because it also has stationary, so it cannot perform any moves except to pivot. And then it's also got a fixed front arc on it. So you're placing it down and it's not moving from that spot. There are some people already talking about ways to bring it in with some extra deployment rules and the different game types, having it parachute in or something. But we'll see. Hopefully there'll be some extra rule cards that drop when this unit comes out. But the important thing here is that we've got an impact to 5 black dice, range 1 to 4. And we've talked about before that Rebels sometimes have a little bit of trouble getting access to impact, so this is a really interesting one. They also have those upgrades that we talked about with the Comm and the Generator upgrade, which can kind of help specialize how the unit is used. So the first upgrade that we have for the Generator is the Barrage Generator. This is a 10-point upgrade. And each of these, the E-Web and the Laser Cannon teams, only have one spot for one generator upgrade. But they seem really key to how you're going to be playing it. So the Barrage Generator says, while performing a fixed range attack with a weapon that has fixed, add 2 white attack dice and apply suppressive to your attack pool. Again, 10 points, and this is an exhaustible ability. Pretty cool in that this gives you a suppressive option for it as well. So for the laser cannon, that'll bring you up to 5 black dice, 2 white dice, which is pretty interesting. If you wanted to have something to put out suppression tokens, and especially in an infantry heavy meta, that can be really important. The other upgrade that you have is obviously a vehicle one. It's called the Overcharge Generator. Again, this is another exhaustible one, also 10 points. While performing a range attack with a weapon that has fixed, add 1 black attack die and apply impact 1 to your attack pool. So boom, that gets you straight up to impact 3. So if you're worried about ATSTs in your meta, then this is a great way to go. There's some other things that are interesting about these units in general, in that they still have a courage stat. So they can take up to 4 suppression before they have to flee the board, or wherever your commander is. But since they can't move, how do they flee? So a lot of people are speculating that they lose activation, so they're able to shed those extra suppression tokens. However, with the readying action that you're going to be doing for those generators anyways, that should keep it down to a minimum. Unfortunately, the big thing that's, I think, a problem with this one is you're losing out on the armor special rule for like the other support slot, which is your ATRT. And with a rotary cannon, which is kind of a similar weapon profile with the 5 black dice, you do lose the impacts, but it does have a little bit more survivability in that it's got that armor special rule, so only crits are getting through on them. There is some saving graces for this unit, though, in that it does surge for an attack and a defense. It doesn't give you a crit or anything, and it's got 6 health, but it's only got that white defensive die. So definitely picking where you're going to be placing this guy is going to be a huge part of keeping it alive in cover. Also, don't forget that the laser cannon itself has the Sentinel special rule, which gives it a standby range, which is 1 to 3. It's a lot more reasonable than having a range 1 to 2, in that somebody can move into that range 3 band where you're usually doing standby for your troops, and they are able to just ping your standby off of you by adding a suppression token. So you should be able to get in, as long as they're not outranging you with like the DLT or something like that at range 4 and then knocking it off. But even then, you're playing some kind of area denial game with this laser cannon. Going over to the E-Web Heavy Blaster unit. So it starts at 55 points. It's got the same thing, 1 comm, 1 generator. It performs a full pivot, also like the laser cannon. It's got plotting, so you can only perform 1 standard move with it a turn, because they're tugging their generators, getting it down the field. And it's also got reposition. Either before or after you perform a standard move, you perform a full pivot action. So that's pretty cool, because it is on the large base with the pivot segments for that fixed front arc. You're not wasting your one action, your one move for the turn to have to pivot the right direction and then moving in subsequent turns. So I think that's really necessary. It's also got the Sentinel special rule, so range 1 to 3. Its attack profile is 1 red, 2 black, 2 white. So not quite as punchy as the laser cannon, but then again, it's cheaper, and it's also mobile, so there is some flexibility there. It's only got 4 health, but it does have that red defense dice. Don't count those red defense dice out. I really like them. It doesn't have a defensive surge, but it does surge for a crit. So that can be really good if you're, I mean, it looks like a really good anti-air vehicle. I don't know if you're having trouble with T-47s in your meta, but this thing seems like it'll just eat it up. So looking back, these are both trooper units, so there will be interactions with certain commander cards and commanders, passing out aim tokens, dodges, what have you. So that's really interesting. They do take spots from the support slots in an 800-point game, so you only get 3. And so if you're running bike heavy or ATR heavy, you're going to have to make some hard choices here. They do seem like some very interesting potential for like moving them up, sitting them on an objective, and just daring, you know, the rebels or Imperials to come at you. You don't get the suppressive unless you get the Barrage Generator on this one. So that's you can have that as an option. Also, the extra impact can get you some impact, which sits well with the looking for crits surges on these guys. So overall, I think I like the E-Web a little bit better than the Rebel one, but I'm definitely, I think we're going to have to get some play testing with it to see what it does on the table. Overall, forgot to mention the Comlink Upgrade. So this is a really interesting one. It's a HQ uplink card, but 10 points, and it's an exhaustible, and you get to add a order token to them at the beginning of the turn. That can be really important if you've got somebody that's like trying to get across an alleyway, and at the end of the last turn they're still exposed, so you can activate your guy to get more attacks on them before they're able to get out of the way. I think that could be really important in being able to pick exactly when they're able to take their targeting. Plus, it's thinning out your command pool. Also, I talked about they've already got the synergies with, well, they're trying to ready with the Barrage Generators or the Overcharge Generator anyways, so refreshing that extra command uplink seems pretty reasonable overall. If you got Veers nearby, he's handing out aim tokens to these guys, so you're getting a ton of action synergy there, just laying down suppressive fire with the E-Webs. I think he'll be a lot of fun to run with him. But anyways, what do you guys think? Are you gonna find room in your list for them? Are they just kind of be cool to paint up and just leave on the shelf? I'm definitely gonna play with the one of each. Whether I'd go more than one, I don't know about that. But tell us what you think, and also please do like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time here on Frontier Gaming.